to move and to just do dance and to do it as a career, but also to have my parents' support. So if that's the only way I can get both, I guess I'm willing to kind of change what I thought would happen.
So you said you're kind of willing to make sacrifices for your parents,
Yeah.
but I noticed that you're looking down while you said that, and I don't really get the sense that that's what you want. Do you think that's right?
Yeah, I think I'm willing to do it. I don't think I want to do it. I've always wanted to move to LA and, pursue dance there. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to more. I feel like I have to if I want to keep my dream of dance, keep my parents' support. It kind of feels like that's my only option right now.
So you feel that you don't have that many choices if you want to fulfill your dream, that there's only one path kind of for you.
Yeah. It seems like I have to trade off. It feels like I get dance or I get support or I get college. It doesn't seem like there's any way to make all those happen at the same time.
Yeah. It has to be kind of frustrating for you. Nobody should have to sacrifice their dream.
Yeah, thanks. It is frustrating and it feels discouraging. I mean, I've worked so hard, being on the dance team all those years and juggling my role of student and being in dance for all the years that I've done it. It kind of feels like now I have to throw it down the drain. So it is discouraging to realize that.
Yeah, I can imagine that, just doing dance your whole life and being so passionate, always having this dream about being a dancer in the future, maybe being in a big city and in productions, and that's always been your goal. So to have to compromise it for anything is a letdown.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like a letdown.
Yeah.
I guess I just feel stuck. I mean, I feel like I said before, I feel like I can have one and not the other, and it doesn't seem like I'm going to get to have it all. So I feel like I'm going to have to give up something that I want.
And I can see even by telling me earlier that you are willing to move somewhere else and pursue college, how much you do care about your parents' support, or you wouldn't be willing to do all of that.
Yeah.
So it is something that you truly value. And now just having to struggle with maybe having to make that sacrifice in order to keep their support is something that you're willing to do, but not that you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, the whole dancing in college, dancing in a school thing, I know a girl that did that, and she actually got offered jobs afterwards. So even though it's not what I originally wanted, I know that it's a possibility. Yeah.
Have you looked into options for schools and maybe with dance studios around them?
I haven't. I think I feel like I was going to have to pick, so it didn't feel worth it to figure out another option. I actually hadn't even thought of going to school for dance until you said it. So yeah, that may be something I'm willing to look into.
I think it feels like every time I bring up school, you get kind of negative and you kind of shut down a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there any reason maybe that you could think of where this negative stigma of school is coming from?
I think that it just feels like settling. I think that part of me feels like I have to do it to please my parents. So even though going to school for dance would be doing kind of what both of us want. I don't know. I just know that it's not really what I wanted. So I think school feels like having to change my dream to fit what somebody else wants for me and not really what I want for me. Yeah. I mean, maybe I could talk to that friend. She really loved it. I mean, we always, all through dance, had the same feelings. We both always wanted to end up in LA. She didn't really want to go to college either, but her parents actually found her this performing arts college, and she did have a positive experience with it.
Okay.
So I watched her do it, and it didn't seem like her dream had to die. So I don't know, maybe that could change how I felt about school. I think school's always been so academic for me. I've never been to a performing arts school. That I think, to me, there's school and there's dance and there's not both. So I think that's why I feel kind of down about school. But I do know that performing arts school is different. And so I feel a little bit more hopeful about that option.
Okay, so I'm sensing a lot of different feelings here. And maybe there is a little bit of hope because the school you've been to has been purely academic based. And for you to base other school options for you, you only have that to base it off of. But you have this friend that maybe could help you get some insight into what it is like to go to performing arts school.
Yeah. I could definitely talk to her about it. I mean, she got a job for a minute. It can't be all bad. Then I wouldn't have to sacrifice my parents' emotional support. I would still be getting a degree like they've asked me to. And I mean, you know, the whole age thing. So I won't be able to dance for forever. So I guess there is some validity in my parents saying it'd probably be good for me to have a degree.
So now it seems like maybe I feel like you're being able to put yourself in your parents' shoes about the security that they keep on reiterating. Because you just told me that age is something that you can only do up to a certain point with dance. So that's great that you just realized that having a degree after you get to a certain age could possibly benefit you.
Yeah, I mean, I had always kind of not wanted to do college because it's what they told me I needed to do and not really what I wanted to do myself. But I will eventually be too old to dance, and maybe they could be right that I could need a degree after I dance. It doesn't seem so bad after all.
Okay, so when you first came in here, Laura, it sounded like you were really confused and you were kind of at a crossroads. You could either pick dance as a career option and go into a studio and work for a production, or you could go to school. But then throughout our discussion, it sounded like maybe the two could be merged almost, and that hadn't really seemed like an option in the beginning.
Yeah, I felt kind of backed into a corner until you mentioned school, and then it felt like maybe I didn't have to give it up and do only what my parents wanted. Maybe I didn't have to cut off my parents and do only what I wanted. Now it seems like there could be a way to do both. That feels a lot better.
I'm sensing a lot of optimism.
Yeah, definitely. School wasn't anything I'd ever planned on doing, but school where my classes are dance. You know, I love dance. If it got me with the right directors to get hired after, I mean, that's not even really slowing down my dance career that much. They could potentially even introduce me to people that I wouldn't be able to meet if I hadn't gone to that school. So maybe it could be a good networking thing too.
I'm seeing you bring up positives and maybe advantages that you could have if you were to pursue going to performing arts school for dance, that just going to dance by yourself without school wouldn't possibly give you.
Yeah, I guess it's not all bad.
Yeah. It seems like maybe talking to your friend that's in the school could even maybe further reconfirm or reassure you of these things, or maybe just to get some more insight?
Yeah, I think that'd be really helpful. We grew up at the same studio, so she took all the same classes as me. She could tell me how hard it would be, and she could probably even tell me if I had good odds of getting in, or, I think she could potentially be a really good resource for what school I should apply to, or if I do get in, what to do while I'm there.
She sounds like a really good mentor for you.
Yeah.
The way you talk about her, seems like you really look up to her.
Yeah, I do. She's super helpful. She's always kind of looked out for me. It, I think would make moving to a different state feel less scary too, because I'd have somebody there that I knew.
Yeah. There's all these positives about just considering your options that I'm already getting from you.
Yeah.
Having her there as a support system, and then having all this insight before you go to a new place about this program that you might potentially look into.
Yeah.
Be at an advantage too, almost.
Yeah. It doesn't sound so bad now.
Yeah, and from earlier when we were discussing your strengths, you sound very determined and very willing to follow your dream. And I mean, you're 18 years old, but you're willing to go to another state and pursue something that you love, and that takes a lot of courage.
Thanks. Yeah. I guess I didn't think of that as any different from anybody else, but I think my parents being such a good support for me has always kind of helped me do things I was uncomfortable with, and I think knowing that I'll go there and I'll still have their support because I'll still be getting a degree, I think that will help me as I kind of transition out of the house too.
Yeah. You said that it doesn't sound any different than from someone else. What did you mean by that? Seems like you were downplaying the positive attributes. And
I guess I just thought everybody was willing to move and, thinking about their future and would go after their dreams. I didn't really know that was kind of unique to me. I guess I never thought about it like that.
Are there people that you know of that are moving away after graduation?
Yeah, my brother did. He moved out as soon as he graduated, so I kind of got to see him do that. I have a couple of people from my same studio that are going to move, and some are going to different colleges, some are going to try to go get a dance job. Definitely some of my classmates are moving out and going to, regular universities too.
Wow. It sounds like it's almost a norm for your peers and your family members in your life to pursue their dreams and branch out and go explore.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I guess everybody's kind of, jumped out of the nest when they were 18, and so that makes me feel like I can probably do it too, because I'm seeing people around me do it.
Yeah. There's a lot of resources there for you too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have to do it by myself. I can ask them, what made things easier. I hadn't thought about that.
That sounds great. And how do you think your parents would react to this new idea of maybe going to performing arts school and pursuing dance somewhere else? How do you think they would take it?
I think they'll be for it. I think their whole goal was just to get me to get a degree, and I think that I'll be doing that by doing this. So I'd for sure have to talk to them about it, but I feel like they'd be into it because I'm actually going to college, and I never was doing it before. I mean, I feel like that's why we were having this misunderstanding. It's because they were saying it's your only option, and I was saying it's not an option, and now it kind of feels like a compromise between the two.
Wow, well, I'm getting that you're very willing to explore your options, and now that you've found resources and people that you could even go to, how about for our next session, Laura, you talk to your friend and get some more insight, and then when you come in next time, we can discuss your career, or if you do want to go to school, or if you still want to pursue dance only after you've gotten some more feedback from people that you can discuss with.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think I definitely can do that. I mean, I never thought of that as an option, so I think talking to her will really help a ton, just hearing about what it was like for her, and maybe I can see if that actually is an option for me too.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Thanks. That helps a lot.
Thanks for coming in, Laura.
Yeah, thanks.